In the previous class, we have learned that we have to prove that R of t is nothing but a subspace of subspace. We have to prove that is alpha 1 y1 plus alpha 2 y2 equal to alpha 1 t of x1 plus alpha 2 t of x2. We have written here, and because t is a linear map, we can write it as t times alpha 1 x1 plus alpha 2 x2. Therefore, alpha 1 y1 plus alpha 2 y2 is element of range of t, right? Which implies R of t is a subspace of V, right? So we have proved that R of t is a subspace of V. Because linear combination, because we have proved that vector addition and scalar multiplication exists in R of t, therefore R of t is a subspace. Now we go to theorem 5. What is this theorem 5? Let U, V, W be vector spaces over F. Suppose S belong to L of P comma W, means S is a linear map and from V to W, and T belongs to L of U comma W, then S composed with T is element of L of U comma W. Means S composed with T is also a linear map. That is what we are supposed to prove. So what is given here is S is a linear map from V to W. So we'll write S is a linear map from V to W, right? S is a linear map from V to W. T is a linear map from U to W. So what is given here is T is a linear map from, sorry, I did some mistake. S belongs to V comma W and T belongs to U comma V. Right? T belongs to L of U comma V, right? T belongs to L of U comma V, and then we have to prove that S composed with T is element of L of U comma V, right? So S is a map from V to W and T is a map from U to V. Okay. T is a map from U to V, and we have to prove that S composed with T is a map from U to W. This is S composed with T. So this is what we have to prove. Then we'll start with proof. Right, what is given here is U, V, W be a vector space of F. Suppose S belongs to L of V comma W and T belongs to L of U comma V, then we have to prove that S composed with T is is element of L of u comma W means S composed with T is a linear map, right? So all we need to prove is the linearity of the map S composed with T. Okay, we have to prove that S composed with T is a linear map. So let alpha 1 comma alpha 2 is element of F and u1 comma u2 is element of U, then S composed with T of alpha 1 u1 plus alpha 2 u2, which is equal to S of T of alpha 1 u1 plus alpha 2 u2, right? And this will be equal to S of T is a linear map, right? So it can be written as alpha 1 T of u1 plus alpha 2 T of u2, right? See, S of T of T of alpha 1 u1, this can be written as alpha 1 T of u1 plus alpha 2 T of u2. Why? T is a linear transformation. Okay, using that property we have written, but this is equal to, and again S is a linear transformation, therefore it can be written as alpha 1 S of T of u1 plus alpha 2 S of T of u2, because S is a linear map. S is also a linear transformation, this is also given. Okay, so we have written alpha 1 S of T of u1 plus alpha 2, and this can be written as alpha 1 S composed with T of u1 plus alpha 2 S composed with T of u2. So we have proved that we started with S composed with T of, how we started? S composed with T of alpha 1 u1 plus alpha 2 u2. Ultimately we arrived at alpha 1 S composed with T of u1 plus alpha 2 S composed with T of u2. So this clearly shows that S composed with T belongs to, it's a linear map, no, from U to W here. Okay, S composed with T is a linear map from U to W, right? Now we go to theorem 6. Let V be a vector space over a field F, a linear transformation S is element of A of V is an isomorphism if only if there exists T belongs to A of V such that S composed with T equal to I equal to T composed with S. We'll see the theorem. Let V be a vector space. It is given V be a vector space over the field F, and it is given that a linear transformation S belongs to A of V is an isomorphism. Okay, and it is given about, now we are talking about if and only if, okay, if and only if there exists, okay, if and only if there exists T belongs to A of V such that S composed with T equal to I equal to T composed with S. So we'll start with the necessary condition. What is necessary condition? We'll assume that T is an isomorphism. Okay. Let us first assume that S is an isomorphism. Okay, if you assume S is an isomorphism, there exists S inverse is element of A of V such that A of V is nothing but is a linear transformation from V to V. Okay, such that S composed with S inverse equal to I equal to S inverse composed with S. So thus we have T can be written as S inverse can be written as T such that is what we are supposed to prove, no? S composed with T equal to T composed with S, which is equal to I. What we are supposed to prove, we have proved. Now we will take the sufficient condition. That is conversely. So we have to prove the sufficient condition also. Suppose T exists, okay, in A of V, means T from V to V. What is given here is T from V to V. So suppose T exists in A of V such that, okay, such that S composed with T equal to I equal to T composed with S. This is all given. So we want to show that S is 1, 1 and on 2. That is isomorphism. We want to show that S is isomorphism. That is S is isomorphism, right? That is what ultimately we have to show, right? So in order to show, we first show that S is 1, 1. Okay, that is, in order to show it is 1, 1, we have to show that kernel of S equal to singleton set 0. Okay, now X belongs to kernel of S, which implies S of X equal to 0. Because it is an element of kernel of S, no? So it is 0, which implies T composed with S of X will be equal to T of S of X, okay, and that is equal to S of X is what? 0, which is equal to 0. That is T of 0 is 0, because what we have taken, T belongs to A of V, right? So T of 0 equal to 0, and this is equal to 0 can be written as 1 into X is 0, which implies that X equal to 0, right? So thus kernel of S equal to singleton set 0. So now we have to prove that S is onto. Okay, that is, the definition of onto is, that is, for any V belongs to V, there exists U belongs to V such that S of U equal to V. Okay, now for any V belongs to V, V can be written as